Being on the State Board of Education here in Massachusetts, I'm the only Latino on the board. So if I don't speak for Latino issues, then no one is going to.
I know that I want our young people to see themselves in their leadership. That is why I ran for office, ultimately because I didn't see myself and my educators until I was in 7th grade. And that happens so much. And so I think that our young people need to see themselves in who's leading their classrooms and who's leading their boardrooms.
So I think there are a number of barriers and opportunities for more Latinos to pursue school board positions across the country. And what we have found is that there are a couple of issues at play that are predominant. And the first being financial. So it costs money to run a campaign. So then the second piece is around how do you actually run a successful campaign? How do you knock on doors? What is your 2-minute elevator speech? How do you really gain a grasp of the issues in your community? How do you engage in your community? So really understanding what are the gaps that Latino children are facing. And once they learn that, it actually turns into the fuel that they need to persist and to be involved and engaged in the issues by serving on a board, because it's close to home.
I was born and raised in Yuma, Arizona, product of public schools down there. I came up on a full ride scholarship for migrant students to Arizona State University. Unfortunately, my first semester, I almost lost that scholarship. I barely maintained the 2.5 GPA that I needed to keep it. So the transition from Yuma to Phoenix, Yuma to Tempe, Arizona, where I went to school, was really difficult. And I didn't have, as a first generation college student, I couldn't pick up the phone and have my parents guide me through navigating the university system. I had to find a support system on my own. By 2013, I decided that I was going to run for office. And in 2014, I got elected to the school board and very intentionally decided to run for Phoenix Union. When I was first elected to the board, I had new board member orientation at the Arizona School Boards Association. I could count on 2 hands the people of color who were newly elected on boards, and there were 250 of us. This environment, the pandemic, and the unfortunate politics around it have just made school so hard, and being on a school board very, very hard. And I think that's it. It's like, I didn't run for the school board to play politics, and I'm up for election next year. And I'm gonna run again. I have to run again. My district needs stability. It needs leadership. It needs, we need to make sure that our community makes it through this, I wasn't going to, but after everything, I'm like, okay, we'll do this one more. I got one more term in me and I'm out after that. The work that All in Education is doing is really meant to close opportunity gaps that exist in the Arizona education system. And we think that, unfortunately in Arizona, we've been talking about the Latino attainment gap since I was a senior in high school. And our belief as an organization is that until Latinos hold power, influence, and authority at all levels of education, from the classroom to the boardroom, and our power in our parents and in our community, we're not going to close the attainment gap, because leaders have to be held responsible to getting outcomes for our community. And so that's what we are doing. We are here to be a good partner, but also to make sure that the system is providing opportunity for every single student that it serves.
It's a huge responsibility. It's an awesome responsibility, but it's a huge honor. And so if you get the opportunity to serve in this way, you will make a difference. And it matters. It matters to your community. It matters to our cities. It matters to our country. So you've got support. We'll help you find support. And I encourage more Latinos and other people of color to run for office.